Hello, and if you're watching this video, that means I want to submit Kirby the Amazing Mirror any percent to your speedrunning marathon. Hello. I'm TG. I've been running this game for quite a long time, and I'm gonna try and beat the game as fast as possible, which requires me to beat all 8 bosses, get their mirror shards, complete the hub mirror, and then go beat up Darkmind a little bit. So 3, 2, 1, go. So Kirby the Amazing Mirror is an open world game, and we'll get to how cool that is in a moment, but before we do anything, we do have this linear section of the game to go through first. That's just known as the tutorial. We got 2 tricks coming back to back here in a moment. The first one's called Gate Skip. We can hit that button just barely, and 2 precise jumps allows you to skip needing to call the Kirbys for help to press the button down for you. And we got ourselves an ability mix here. So there you go. Whenever you inhale 2 enemies in this game, if both those enemies have abilities, the ability roulette, well, first of all, it triggers a mix, but the mix starts at the same place every time, depending on what ability enters your mouth first. So that is not random. That's all to do with timing, and you've got a 4-frame window to hit A or B in order to get Wheel. And we want Wheel because, well, it's insane. Wheel is the fastest way to get through rooms horizontally in this game. We are completely invincible while wheeling. As you see here, I'm sort of going through enemies without really caring at all. And, yeah. Sort of, Wheel is very good. We'll be using it quite a bit in this run. Yeah. And there we go. That's the first Warp Star part here. So, as I was saying, Amazing Mirror is an open world game. It's a very flexible speedrun too. You can do a lot of the segments in pretty much any order you choose without really losing any amount of speed. Yeah, we're coming up to the first mini-boss in the run here, Mr. Frosty, as he's mistranslated in English, but yeah, Mr. Frosty. We're gonna eject our power-up, get these 2 Waddle Dees, get a double star, and clean up 3 hits on Frosty and deal with him in no time flat. Now this is any percent. We don't want to do anything that wastes time, so we're gonna skip getting that switch. Those switches are usually used for backtracking, and they count towards your percentage in 100% as well. So you might also notice while in Wheel, I'm doing my best to try and jump over as many enemies as possible. That's because whenever you hit enemies in this game, the game freezes a little bit, which is called hit lag, and I want to avoid hitting enemies as much as possible to make sure I'm going quickly. So Wheel isn't the only ability we'll be using in this run. We're gonna ditch Wheel here in a moment for this Golem. This Golem has Stone, and Stone absolutely dominates bosses. You're about to see King Golem go down in 3 rock drops here in a moment. And there you go, just like that, King Golem is taken care of. So we've got 1 of 7 bosses defeated here. And now we're gonna soft reset. Normally, if you let that play out, you do the, the Kirby dance everyone knows and love, but it's faster to just soft reset when the game completely fades out to white. That's when save memory gets updated. And yeah, we soft reset and we continue on and get Wheel here. So we're focusing on playing these rooms as cleanly as possible, trying to avoid as many enemies as possible while wheeling to make sure that we're not stuck in hit lag. We want to go as fast as possible. So the route I'm doing is the current quote-unquote optimal route, which is doing Mega Titan second. So I am currently heading westwards to Carrot Castle, and we're gonna go hit a couple of switches we'll need to backtrack for later in the run. Bit of a messy mission here, but nothing to worry about. We're gonna grab this switch. This switch is, we're gonna need to go back here for Gobbler and Radish Runes in a moment. This room is a real pain because the enemies love to do whatever. Can hop underneath that Metal Guardian. This room is some of my favorite moments. Hopefully I get this jump. Oh, I missed it. You can like land perfectly on that block. So yeah, there's pretty much no glitches or clips or anything in this game whatsoever. This is a very movement-focused speedrun. It's about learning the rooms and sort of doing any time saves you can, just optimally do things. And one of those time saves you can do is, you see, instead of using Kirby's float, I'm jumping individually up each of these platforms. That's because your initial jump speed is actually faster than your float speed. So when you have to make 2 or more jumps in a row, it's better just to jump up them like that rather than puff. Also, I was too busy explaining that, and I didn't go for one of my favorite tricks, Yamayu jump there. I sort of waited for the wheelie back there, but that's fine. It's a marathon run. I'm sure I'll get someone to help me commentate as I do these runs for whatever event. Oh, I love making that. Alright, normally I would discard my ability and fat Kirby this, which means discard my ability, re-inhale it. So I'm fat, so if I hit these spikes I won't lose my ability, but I've been playing this game for so long that it's not really a big deal. Never mind the fact I messed up one of the cannons, I'm also talking at the same time. There's a lot to talk about, and this game goes at a breakneck pace, so I'm really worried I might start talking about something and then never finish my thought. So yeah, Mega Titan is one of the only is basically the only boss in this run we actually fight with wheel. So remember at the end of King Golem, we soft reset to avoid watching the Kirby Dance cutscene? Well, we're going to actually watch this Kirby Dance cutscene all the way through so we can keep wheel. Not only that, but we're going to respawn back at the hub at the last gate door we entered, and that's going to set us up perfectly for the next split we're going to do in the run, which is Radish Ruins. I am quite behind my PB right now, but that's fine. Talking and playing this game is quite difficult, even though Kirby is a bit of an is seen as sort of like a beginner gamer's franchise. The speedruns are really like, especially any percent in this game, it's really focus intensive, so I'm definitely probably not going to be playing the best of my ability, although I'm trying to explain to you why I love this speedrun so much. Obviously jump there. So yep, so we watched the Kirby Dance cutscene, we kept wheel, respawned at the South Rainbow Road switch there, at the East Rainbow Road switch, sorry, and then we moved down south, and now we're heading to Radish Ruins. This room is quite difficult. Almost. Oh, that was supposed to be float cancel. I'll go over float cancels later in the run. It's a really cool piece of movement that this game has. The Radish Ruins is another really wheel-heavy segment, so you're gonna see a lot of really cool movement if I'm not bad. No guarantees, sorry. So yeah, once again, I'm gonna be trying to avoid enemies as much as possible to avoid hit lag. I want as little downtime as possible. Dang, missed that jump. You can jump over that first wall, dude. Alright, get the mirror up. Perfect. We want to skip that switch. We don't want to watch a cutscene. There we go. So yeah, we're just doing movement. So Kirby the Amazing Mirror, specifically any percent, gets a ton of flack from other Kirby speedrunners because of this game's huge amount of RNG. The mini-bosses, the bosses themselves, they all have different patterns that if you don't know how to deal with them correctly, or you might not have any choice, lose you a lot of time. So as you see here, this is one of them. So that Master Hand fight can give you a lot of patterns. What I was hoping for was, I was trying to get set up for either a grab or a long fist, so that whatever attack Master Hand would do, he would be carried all the way over to the left side of the screen, so that I could, you know, oh my goodness, go up in the door, buddy! So I could finish the room faster. RNG also pretty much decides what my current route is. So I'm trying to get Radish Ruins and Cabbage Cavern done as quickly as possible. The boss of Radish Ruins, Meta Knight, loves to randomly block your stuff. He loves to not cooperate with you and you lose a ton of time. Molly, which is the next boss you'll be seeing in this run, loves to waste your time as well. So I like to do the levels in the order of which one loses me the most amount of time. Now for Meta Knight, we're not going to be fighting with Wheel. We're going to ditch Wheel for Sword here. We're going to try and slide stab him. That's going to hopefully get him to jump in the air like that, and we'll follow up with a neutral hit. Oh my goodness. That fight was, like, kinda sexy, a little bit. That fight can go so wrong. Sometimes Meta Knight doesn't like to jump. Sometimes he'll randomly block your attack. Sometimes he'll be just a stick in the mud, and yeah, you don't want to see that. So we're gonna soft reset. We don't really want to carry sword in the next segment. We're gonna do Molly next, so we're gonna go to the bottom left here, grab stone. This is a really, really short segment. Blink and you'll miss it. Whoa, that chip is out for blood. Okay, that one was too. Get in my mouth, no! Come on, I'm on a run. I've got to impress the judges. I want to get into their speedrun marathon. Come on. You're not going to want me if I'm slow. Speaking about going slow, you might see me try and jump as much as possible as well during these corridors. So that's because jumping, like your airspeed, is slightly faster than your sprint speed. So whenever there's sort of like a dull movement going on, I'm going to be trying jumping as much as possible. So we're coming up to Molly here. There's two accepted ways of beating him. You can either grab hammer from the bonkers we just fought, or you can use throw. The strat for throw is I'm going to catch an object Molly throws at me. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to rub it all over his face. I can't really do that if he's on the ceiling though, unfortunately. This is another reason. This Molly's one of the most hated bosses in the whole game, because look at this. He's just poking out. He's wasting my time. He's not giving me floor patterns here. Oh my goodness. Stop wasting my time, dude. No! Ah! Oh, this has gone horribly. Okay, that was awful. So a good Molly fight, he just pops out one of the bottom holes immediately and throws you an object and stays up, and you can pretty much delete Molly instantly. That was an example of one of the worst Molly fights I think I've seen in a long time. And that's the reason why I like to get him over with as soon as possible, because, man, if this was an actual speedrun, I would have, like, reset a bit ago. So there's a really cool mix that's called Gobbler Wheel Mix. Since we do it at the start of the Gobbler segment, we're on our way to Olive Ocean. You can puff that first Foley, do what's called a float cancel, which is basically press A in the air to start floating, but cancel that animation by doing something with your B button, such as an inhale there, and we are able to get both Foleys into our mouth before the first one explodes. And as I was saying, the ability roulette starts in the same place every time depending on the first ability that enters your mouth, and the first ability in the roulette when bomb enters your mouth is wheel. So we just have to buffer in an A or B, just roll our fingers across the two the moment the thing starts, and we get wheel. We're also grabbing that switch because I'm insane and I'm going to be doing Missile Krakow. That was not for backtracking purposes. Grabbing that switch was just because there's an ability statue in there for Missile. And that's going to make the Mustard Mountain segment we're doing next go pretty fast. Depending on if I'm good at the game or not. We'll see. So Olive Ocean is the water level. Also got some really cool mixes. We've already seen one of my favorite mixes in the run so far, the Gobbler Wheel. So yeah, I'm trying to break these blocks in a way that I can get around those blippers without attacking them, saving hit lag. Alright, another RNG check here. Boxy loves to waste your time by jumping all over the place. Looks like he's gonna sprint. Oh my goodness, that damage! Oh, that fight was really good. Okay, excellent stuff there. I picked up a lot of damage on Boxy there since I sort of chased him across the screen. No, I missed the setup. Okay, so here's another, a little difficult mix here, so... Oh, I'm late. Oh no, I'm messing it up! So we want either fire... Oh my goodness, I'm bad at this game. We want either fire or UFO here. There we go, fireworks. There's a bomb block nested in a wall in the next room, and if we want to beat it as quickly as possible, we want either UFO, which can hit the bomb block through the wall with a full charge shot, or we can use fire, angle the fire upwards by holding up on the stick while we're in the air, and we can hit the bomb block through the wall just like this. There, just like that. And that skips doing this entire room. However, doing that, what was that, like 4th and a half try? Not very fast, unfortunately. Ooh, hit the thing. So yeah, all we got left between us and Gobbler is some swimming sections. So yeah, same tenets as always. We want to avoid stopping and attacking enemies as much as possible. I love this room. We're gonna get some real close to some enemies without hitting them. Like this Gordo, this Blipper. Don't worry about him. Nothing in this room can hurt you. We are gonna damage boost off these spikes. Watch this. Hitting that spike perfectly hits you into that hole, and it looks great every time. Really impress your friends with that one. Now, you might also notice me sliding off some stuff here. Your slide is quite fast, but once you're done the slide, you slow down quite a bit, and you have some recovery frames. So you want to do it off of cliffs, or if you can interrupt the slide somehow by like hitting a wall. So you'll see me pick up some extra frames here and there by sort of sliding off of slopes, or sliding off edges, I should say. Alright, so as we saw there, we picked up stone for the giant Rocky there. We're going to hopefully keep stone all the way until the boss Gobbler. This is a little scary, since if we get hit underwater, there's no way to re-inhale our ability star, and we're going to lose a lot of time, but I am a trained professional that gets every mix first try, so no problems here. So yeah, same thing with King Golem, the first boss in the run. We're basically just gonna rock drop him, and he is going to die. Watch this. We might even one cycle if I'm lucky. Ah, I am lucky! There's the one cycle. So what happened there was I rock dropped Gobbler. Gobbler's first attack he chose to do there was to spit out a bunch of ads, a bunch of guppies. And as I said before, if you hit enemies, you get stuck in hit lag. And if you hit enough of them, then you get stuck inside of Gobbler, and you can stay inside of him just long enough to get an extra hit and then one cycle him. So I got that switch earlier for Missile, as I was saying. It's for this split. Missile is very difficult to use. It's sort of like trying to, instead of like imagining you're steering a missile, imagine you're trading the gravity of the missile. Like every time you move with Missile, like there's like zero friction, so you need to like counter steer everywhere. So what I'm doing right now is incredibly difficult, and yeah, this is one of my favorite abilities in the game. It's really hard to use, really hard to master, but man, I'm flying through this. You need pretty much perfect missile movement to offset the cost of hitting the switch you saw me hit back in All of Ocean to get Missile in the first place. We've timed it. It saves less than half a second, but it's faster, so be quiet. It's also really cool. So I refuse to do it the boring way. Ah, dang. There's another RNG check there. That Shadow Kirby can get you either a 1-up, a maximum tomato, or a candy. We wanted a candy to make this mini boss go really fast, but thankfully he... Oh, 3 hits, that's kind of slow. He gave us a good pattern, I'm just bad at the game. We need to pick up stone anyways for Krakow. Since Krakow's, like every other boss in this game, is going to die in 3 rock drops. Oh, not if he does that to me, though. No, oh my goodness, I'm doing bad. Alright, that was a really bad Krakow fight, unfortunately. Holy jeez, we're already almost a minute behind my PB right now. We're on 28:12 pace, which is still really good for a marathon run. But between us and finishing the run, we've got 2 more mirror shards to go. We've got Candy Constellation, and we've got Peppermint Palace. So on our way to Candy Constellation, we need to go through Peppermint anyways. We're going to pick up this wheel, since that wheel is sort of on our way, and it's faster than, you know, going back at the Rainbow East mirror to get that wheelie. So yeah, we're going to pick up the switches required to go and fight Wiz, and then we're just going to hightail it to the Warp Star in Peppermint Palace and go fight the hands. So Candy Constellation is one of the hardest splits in the game. There is a lot of pitfalls, there's a lot of ways you can lose your ability, and there's a lot of ways you can lose, like, minutes of the speedrun here. So, yeah. This hasn't been the most A-tiered run I've ever had. I am talking during it, so... There we go. So now I guess I'll talk about float cancels, what I just did there again. So I think I talked about float cancels, but if you see here, I start puffing, cancel it with B, and you can get an extra tile of height out of your jump. And that's super important for wheeling. There we go. Will we get a good Frosty pattern? We will not get a good Frosty pattern. So what we wanted Frosty to do there is sort of run for us. Oh my goodness. That was one of the worst Frosty patterns like I've seen in a while, so he was just standing in the corner and jumping. What we wanted him to do is sort of do his attack as he runs across the screen, and that way we can just wheel him as he goes across the screen and do a ton of damage. So here we are in Candy Constellation. I was saying this is one of the hardest splits in the game, where every room basically has bottomless pits in it that, not only are we at risk of falling down, but we might get hit by one of the numerous objects or enemies in the level, and our ability might go in the pit instead. Well, that was not how you're supposed to do that room. Okay, here's where it really kicks up. I need to really focus on my movement here so I don't eat butt. Do a lot of risky jumps here to try and save those frames. Because I need to prove I'm good at this game, or I won't get accepted. Here's a really tricky room. This is called the Grid Maze. A lot of cool movement here. Bad pattern from the waddle do, unfortunately, but that's fine. We're doing great. We haven't lost our ability, so we're objectively doing great here. Trying to avoid hit lag. Unfortunately, I got a lot of hits on those guys. Really difficult room. This is the star block room. Every block in this room is breakable, and there's Gordos, and there's Waddle Doos everywhere. Oh my goodness, he's a pro champion. Oh, he's so good. Woo! A lot of people like to take that room easy, that like to puff a star block in order to wait for that last Gordo cycle, but I am chemically unbalanced, and I love risk. Oh, speaking about love and risk, look at that master hand! So that's exactly what I'm talking about. We want those mini-bosses to do the attacks where they sort of like charge into you, so you can sort of wheel inside them and pick up a lot of damage that way. That was a really good Master Hand fight. That Master Hand fight is also very annoying because he's just ever so high up off the ground that you can't do like a mid-wheel jump to pick up extra hits on him. You need to unwheel and do a full jump to pick up damage. So the fact he stayed low to the ground for us and we could pick up extra damage, we're feeling good about that. Oh hey, this UFO's following us. Oh, no, he's not there. So if that UFO follows us all the way to the room, we would have actually picked that up instead of Missile here. But using Missile is pretty much just as fast. And by the Missile was way more sick. Way more sick. Like, look at this movement. I am on fire with my Missile movement right now. Oh my goodness. Why would you not want this Missile movement in your marathon? Alright, unfortunately, that's the end of Missile for this any % run. We're gonna ditch it for Fire, and we are going to go roast Master Hand and Crazy Hand here alive. I like to go after this left hand first, the best possible RNG. I don't believe it! That was so fast! So yeah, the Fire does extra bonus damage against the left hand. That was almost a gold, holy crap. He saved like almost 5 seconds on my PB. That's like the best thing I've done all game. Holy cow. So yeah, the left hand takes way more damage from Fire, but we want them to do the rock drop ability. If they do the rock drop, then you can get stone and absolutely dominate them like that. That was insanely good. Alright, new mix added to the run here. This is Whiz Wheel Mix. That's pretty new for me. I only learned this trick in like maybe the last week and a half of playing Kirby the Amazing Mirror since coming back to it. So exactly the same as you've seen me set up the other Foley mixes so far. We sort of do like a slide, and then we can sort of like puff them, and then, yeah. However, Foley wasn't the first one to enter our mouth. It was actually the Sir Kibble, and Wheel is third in the ability wheel once you get Sir Kibble. So we sort of have to time that in order to get Wheel. We might get another mix here. Oh my goodness. Oh, I mixed Sleep! Well, at least we're well rested for Wiz. So I was trying to go for Hammer there, which I believe was... I was too late, like 2 ability slots late for. Hammer absolutely destroys Wiz, but we're gonna have to use the backup here, which is Parasol. That's amazing. This submission video is now completely blessed by getting that sleep mix. So yeah, we're gonna... Oh, I got hit by that. We're gonna use Parasol's active hitbox to our advantage here. We're gonna try and stay on Wiz as much as possible. We are getting pretty garbage luck here. We do want Wiz to stay up on these rafters because it's much easier to hit him from underneath. That was a very sloppy fight, unfortunately. I lost quite a bit of time. But that's fine. I also fell asleep. That didn't really help it either. Alright, so we've got the center mirror ready. Let's go fight Darkmind. And by fight Darkmind, I mean instantly soft reset. So there's a long cutscene that plays there once you enter the fight for the first time. So we soft reset here just to skip it, or just so we can skip it later. We want to go into the fight with Stone anyway. So we have to fight Meta Knight here again. So exact same tactic as the Meta Knight back in Radish Ruins. That was a weird movement. No. So we want to slide to get him to jump, and then we deal damage. That was cool. I just sort of kept rolling. I got hit, so that was kind of slow by my usual standards, but could have gone a lot worse. And alright, we have, like 7 more final bosses to go. Alright, so first is 4 phases of Darkmind. So we're going to discard our stone. We're going to pick up the Master Sword that drops. We're going to get a double star, and watch this. We absolutely destroy the final boss here. So what happens is that Darkmind reacts to getting hit to that double star. It's going to recoil back in pain and sort of keep the double star in its hitbox, and it's going to get a double hit there. And we're going to be doing that for basically 4 times in a row here for each of these Darkmind phases. We're going to get up on this ledge so we can cover any attack pattern that comes up. Sometimes you can go to the top middle of the screen here and sort of not be able to get hit unless you're on those rafters, so that's sort of to cover your bases. Alright, we're coming up to Darkmind 3. Not only do I want the double star hit, I also want him to spit out either a red or a blue star at me as he attacks. So that way I can carry ice or fire into the next interim section and skip the whole thing. However, that's entirely based on luck. Oh, no, my B input, no! So I was in recovery frames of spitting out the star. I wasn't far enough back. If I was further enough back, I would have been able to inhale that blue star for ice. And as you see here, I'm going through this entire interim section. I need to pick up Sword to hit this switch through here. If I was to carry ice or fire, I could hit that switch through the wall right away and not lose any time going around that room. Oh, that was so close. Alright, so a double star is not enough to kill phase 4 here, but that's good because green stars are now added into this fight. Oh, I can't hit him up there. Yes, I can. No, I didn't get. Oh, I did get him. That was weird. So I'm hoping for a green star here. I got it, but then I got hit, so it came out of my mouth. Dang. Alright. So yeah, Darkmind 4 is infamous for ruining runs, depending on what luck you get. Oh, Bloody Mix. I can go to the top of the screen. He's going to spit out 2 stars. That's ice. And there we go, I mixed for UFO, and we want UFO not just to finish off this fight here, we also want it to finish off the next phase, because that fully charged shot is what we're all about. So this phase of Darkmind has multiple hitboxes. He has that center eye you can hit, and the mirrors he attack with, you can also damage. So we want the fully charged shot here to not only hit the center eye, but also a mirror he attacks with, so watch this. So unfortunately, I wanted to hit the back mirror. You want to hit the eye and then hit the mirror to the back. I missed that? That's not good. Okay, kind of a slow fight because we got some crappy patterns, unfortunately. We wanted as many mirrors, attacks that use mirrors as possible. We also want ones that don't have a lot of setup time. The one where he goes to the floor and does that spin wasted quite a bit of time, unfortunately. I wasn't able to show off really any cool strats. But you can depending on what luck you get on that fight, you can roast Darkmind 5 alive. And now we're going to finish off this run with a shoot 'em up section. We're on pace for a 29-10, which is not bad for me. Certainly a very good time since I'm losing a bunch of time to explaining everything. I also have to watch my health here as well. It would be embarrassing if I were to die on this phase, and that's time 29-15. not bad at all for a run where I had to explain everything and sort of take my time, and we didn't get the best luck on a lot of segments, but that's fine. 29:15 is a time a lot of people would wish for in this game. So, yeah, that was Kirby and the Amazing Mirror any percent. Hopefully you will consider this for your speedrunning marathon. I love this game, I love running it, and I have no shortage of friends from the Kirby speedrunning community that would love to join me and help me talk about this game so I don't have to do it myself, and hopefully I could focus on getting an actual better time than a 29:15. Even though 29:15 is really good. You know, we are like a minute and a half behind my PB, so there you go. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you consider Kirby and the Amazing Mirror any percent, and I'll see you later.